Okay, so everybody, so we're here to talk about control deletion of obsolete UIDs from GTID state. And we are willing to do it in a safe, persistent cleanup for retired GTID identities. I'm Nuno Carvalho, I'm replication lead at Oracle. I'm here for 14 years. And that is it. So the usual safe harbor statement that we all know. And what are the goals of this discussion? So we are here to discuss the feature, but the purpose is collaboration. So we are seeking for feedback on the feature direction before we start implementation. We want to validate the operational problem with people running large and non-lib GTID topologies, identifying tooling, backup, failover, and restore assumption that may be affected by this feature, and also get contribution and collaboration on semantics, and also, if possible, in implementation. So what is the problem statement here? So obsolete UIDs accumulate forever, even when the server identity is gone. So that makes the server GT executed and GTID purged to keep historical server identities. The receiver GTID set can also retain UIDs from retired servers, and our external automation keeps comparing larger and larger and noisier GTID sets. So tools are always having troubles with this. Examples that can cause this issue. The customer has a fleet that replaces hosts frequently. Each replacement, and also a primary failover, leaves another UID behind. A restore or clone server is later retired, but its presence on the history is never removed. Incident response must inspect GTID sets, which most cases are dominated by UIDs that are no longer valid and are just there making things slow. Requirement for these features. So the cleanup must be explicit, safe, persistent, and online. So there should be a new syntax with validation and a dedicated privilege so that only sysadmins or the ones allowed to can do it. The removal of used UIDs should be rejected if they are being used. For instance, if we are a source or a primary, that UID should never be allowed to be removed. And also needs to be crash safe. So if you are doing a removal and there is a crash, this system must be allowed to return to a consistent state. There should be pre-checks whether this operation can succeed on the complete topology or none. It should expose the current and historical deletion state for obsolete. So if you want to know months or years later when something was deleted, we should be able to do it. And also it should be audit to preserve what happened. It must be online because it must not impact replication, backups, or point-in-time recovery. All of those should be valid. GTID comparisons must also continue to be valid after the cleanup, and should there be no expected performance regression. What are the challenges? So GTID state is not just metadata, but it also impacts many other components. For instance, a UID that disappears instantly can make an old and new snapshots to be compatible. So if we take a backup, do a removal, and then do a new backup, if this is done just one step, those backups won't be incomparable. When we are doing also cleanup, we should not make waiting functions to stall or just be incorrect. One example is wait for exit to GTID set. If we remove one UID, that function result must also be impacted by it. And by it is by not considering that UID. Failover and replica selection logic must keep comparing progress correctly. So if a UID is removed, it must be removed also from those comparisons. Then there are the timing challenges. Different servers or different components have different timing for each own UIDs. So on the source, it may be a short one, on replica is larger, and on backups is even larger. So we need to also, when you do the cleanup or the delete marker must itself be replicated and be consumed before the final removal. This also impacts backups because those are the ones that have more persistence. Those are the ones that are longer periods than the servers to keep GTID snapshots. It also must be compatible. So GTID site operations need tombstone-aware semantics. The binary GTID coding needs to be correct and be represented for tombstones. And also all third-party tools and MySQL tools must be aware of this semantic so that everything goes well. Examples of known solutions that could be implemented. Do the removal in one shot. So in one simple step, remove the UID from get executed and get purged. But the issue is that this will make snapshots incompatible or even invalid. Backups and replicas will also be incompatible or invalid. And even a replica could not be able to connect to a source if it was not up to date when the removal was done on the source. On the same scenario, if the sysadmin or DBA is doing GTID subsets or equality checks, if a UID disappears instantly, that can also make those checks be invalid. Another example is the offline reset procedure. So stop everything, wait for every node and stop replication after everything is synced. And then reset GTIDs everywhere and restart. This already exists today, but the problem is that this does not work on ever non-stopping world. So we will need to stop everything, start everything again, and this would again make all backups invalid. So it just doesn't scale. Also, this is very, very dangerous. If there is any mistake, then the sysadmin will need to recover old backups because there is no way to going back. If this feature is implemented, the benefits will be that there will be a bounded GTID metadata. So retarded UIDs will stop accumulate indefinitely in long-lived deployments. There will be clear operations. Failover, diagnostics, backup, restart, and provision will work with less noise. And also there will be supported cleanup. So ad hoc resets or scripts or manual instructions will not be used. Instead, there will be a one online privilege protected operation. And that was it. So this is our feature. And again, just to reinforce, we are seeking for discussion, live case scenarios, and also contributions.
We go back to the previous slides. Sorry, I lost. What was the solution proposed?
We are not presenting an actual solution. We're saying what are the requirements and the challenges. The solution will be something discussed with other parties so that we have a common knowledge of what are the actual requirements for them. Yes, Nikolai?
The question of how to do something on every replica in a replication topology has come up before. And you're saying you need a pre-check whether the operation can succeed on all nodes. So I think you're going to need something to orchestrate, do this action, a check in this case, on every machine in the replication chain.
Yes, that is one of the requirements.
Yes.
How exactly it is done, it's yet to be discussed. But it could be coordinated, or it can be, for instance, a multiple step approach. One is validation, another one is actual execution.
Yes, exactly. However, this is a new bit of technology for Oracle, and there are sometimes things you might want to do on other chains. For example, if you can do things to multiple machines at once, you could do things like launch parallel alters across replication chains and so on. which would be a pretty handy bit of technology to have. Because at the moment, only instant DDL is okay for replication without delay. Online doesn't work because the thread on the replica will block when it hits the change and will not parallel replicate other things around it. So this is,
Yes,
this is a bit of technology Oracle doesn't have, but which would be very useful for a number of things, not just this one.
Yes, when approach is doing things locally on each node, there is a catch though, because since this is GTIDs and these are the base of the handshake between replicas and source, it still needs to be a multiple step thing, because we need to first, let's say, tombstone a UID, let that continue to work with source, and then only later, after all of these tombstoned, then we can actually remove it. So even if it is local or replicated, it needs to be, at least to be online, it needs to be a multiple step approach.
Correct, yes, yeah. Okay. We are, of course, very interested in this. Thank you. Another comment, if not all of those cases were addressed if you used it, in particular if the case of very old backup sets comparing with current current sets, if that comparison didn't work, that might be acceptable in some cases if you want to consider implementing a part solution and then a complete solution after that. There would still be utility for us in being able to have all online handled and any recent offline up to some threshold. Perhaps we set a tombstone after some time, and then beyond that, comparisons with older sets become unavailable, because we could set that time that it sits as a tombstone before being purged completely to the retention of our backups, for example, or some reasonable backup retention. So that might be okay for us if you don't solve it completely.
Yeah, I understand. So yes, the tombstone period can be large enough to withstand the backup period or retention. Yes, it can also work on that way. And the actual procedure will only take care about the online propagation or online operation. Yes.
Right. But you know, if it's 2 weeks or something like that, we might accept that after 2 weeks we can't do a comparison between a backup more than 2 weeks old and today, and that might be okay for us. We're probably not going to do this very often, such comparison often anyway, so we might accept that as a documented limitation, and it would still be very useful for us.
Yes, ideally these periods should be configurable. So let's say we have one option that says let's tombstone your ID, then the DBA can wait for how much long he wants until we do the actual removal. So this is implicitly it's configurable because of that.
Right, okay, that sounds good. We can always automate this sometime later. Thanks.
Thank you.